Welcome to my channel. In the meantime, I will explain how this has come to fruition. First, it is about 3 or more years overdue, as I got the conviction to do it from 2021. I am someone who used to do journaling from my teenage years. I used journaling to cope with the struggles of life back then. In fact, I didn't even know that there was a word for what I was doing. I used to just write. I used it to talk to God, to talk to myself. God spoke to me through my writing, and I also used it to do an assessment of myself. Anyway, in 2021, during the height of COVID, I was reminded by many, and in many ways, that I needed to tell my story. You see, I had got this conviction from a long time ago, and I did start writing a book. However, I lost it on 3 different occasions, one of which was burglarizing of my home, which in which they took all the computers and the flash drive that had it. When I attempted it again, I found I had difficulty in writing and expressing myself the way I used to. I knew something was wrong, but it was only in 2018 I found out that I was suffering from neurological damage from a drug that was prescribed to me long term. In addition to the many horrible symptoms of the drug, it caused brain fog, and I had difficulty finding words. And that was one of the reasons why I was not able to continue. This was very frustrating to me. The type of drug is from a class called benzodiazepines. Um, in further videos, I will tell you about benzodiazepines and the effect it had on me, etc., etc. But for now, what happened was that the drug damages the receptors in the brain that processes the drug. So after being on it for a while and it damaged the receptors, then you end up having withdrawal symptoms. You develop what is called tolerance withdrawal because you have now gotten accustomed to the dosage, and because the brain is not able to process the drug, it does not matter whether you increase the dosage, you won't get the effect of the drug. So you end up having withdrawal from it. And these type of drug, the benzodiazepines, are very, very difficult to get off. In fact, they are even worse than crack, cocaine, heroin. So it is a very, very difficult process, and the withdrawal symptoms are horrible. So I was experiencing withdrawal symptoms even though I was on the drug. In order to get off, you have to slowly withdraw from it. When people can go to rehab and so forth to get off the other hard drugs, you cannot do benzo withdrawal in in a rehab. So I started reducing the drugs slowly in 2019, knowing that I had a very rough road ahead. Unfortunately, I had been diagnosed with MS in 2012, but I was not hampered by it in any way. I was still able to walk, get around, do things as I used to. In fact, in 2019, I took a trip to Europe. I spent 3 months there, and I was able to travel to 5 different countries. And then when I returned home after the 3 months, spending some more time here, I then went to my home country. So I did all of those countries during 2019, and I was okay. Then lo and behold, 2020 came and the pandemic broke out, the COVID-19 pandemic. Um, in 2021, when the vaccines were available, because of the multiple sclerosis, I was in the first group of persons to be recommended for the vaccine. At first, I hesitated out of fear. I'm not anti vax, but out of fear, I hesitated. But anyway, I ended up taking the vaccine. And unfortunately, after taking it, I noticed that my legs started acting funny. And from there on, the MS started progressing, and I started having difficulty walking, and other symptoms um, set in. Again, I was reminded by the Lord that He wanted me to share my story, but now I was dealing with two issues. I am a child of God, and I had committed my life to Him from I was 10 years old. I said, Lord, you know I can't write the way I would like to. At that time, I also felt the urge to journal again to get through the issues that I was dealing with. Throughout my life, God has always been my guide, my father, my provider, my everything. And I now asked Him to be my healer. One day, as I pondered what to do, I heard that still small voice that I had gotten accustomed to from when I was a child, when the Lord speaks to me. He said, instead of writing, why don't you share by talking? There are different social media platforms. Why don't you use one? In fact, it was placed in my spirit to use YouTube. I had a lot of questions and pushbacks at this direction. I didn't want to do it for several reasons. He showed me myself waiting in a doctor's office with other patients, waiting to be seen by the doctor. And the doctor was him. I was shown people sitting, and I was also shown people standing in a line, like they're close to a passage waiting to get in to see the doctor. He said, while you're waiting, strike up a conversation with those waiting with you and share your story with them until it is time for you to see me. I asked, what should I call the channel? A few days later, it was placed in my spirit to call it In the Meantime. So here I am, waiting to see Dr. God, and I will share my story with you in the meantime. I will share with you about multiple sclerosis. I will also share with you um, the effects of taking benzodiazepine and getting off them. I will share a lot of my life experiences with you. And since it is a conversation that I will be striking up with you, I also want you to share with me. I want you to share your experiences with me. I want you to give me advice if I need some. So, until next time, then we will talk. So, in the meantime, as I wait on the Lord, see you. In fact, I want you to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I post my next video. So until then, God bless you.